Dead hangs. I'd been ignoring them for years. Grab a bar, hang, no reps to count, nothing to chase. It never registered as something I needed. Then I tried one. I do pull-ups. I've been training for years. Hanging should be easy. It was not. 13 seconds. My arms were shaking like I'd just done 1,000 curls. I hadn't even moved. Forearms still burning 5 minutes later. 60 seconds was the goal. I figured I'd have it in 5 days. Instead, I spent 30 finding out what I'd been ignoring. Days 1 through 4. Stuck between 10 and 15 seconds. Hands raw. Skin doing something weird in spots I didn't know hands had. Forearms burning constantly. Shoulders stiff in ways I didn't expect. My brain says, hold on. My hands already checked out. Day 4. Still stuck at 13. I put the bar down and consider quitting something I've only been doing for 4 days. New low. I'd been lifting for years, but lifting had never actually taught me to hang. When you lift, the bar moves with you. In a dead hang, it doesn't. You're the weight. Whatever grip I'd built from lifting wasn't up to this specific task. I'd never needed to hang for real, so I'd never noticed the gap was there. Past 15 seconds, everything starts negotiating. 3 days, 0 progress. So I try the obvious solution. Harder. It doesn't work. Which leaves me with one stupid possibility. Maybe it's the bar. I switch to a thinner one. 35 seconds. First attempt. I just added 20 seconds without getting stronger. The thinner bar felt easier to control in my hand. 4 days on the wrong setup because I never thought to look at the equipment. A bar is a bar until it isn't. Day 9 proved it wasn't the real problem. Day 9. Scrolling a tutorial. A climber starts talking about active hangs. I stop. 9 days in and I'd missed something basic. I try an active hang immediately. 19 seconds. My passive hang was 40. The bar feels twice as heavy. My ego drops before my hands do. For the first time in this challenge, I walk away feeling like I went backward. Passive is basically letting yourself dangle. Active means controlling the shoulders, keeping the body engaged. Same bar, completely different demand. I had only ever done the first one. 9 days. The switch is brutal. Back to 20 seconds. For the next few sessions, I couldn't reproduce the 32. I'd gone backward twice. But at least now I knew what I was actually practicing. Day 11. Photo mid-hang. I freeze the frame. Fingers curled over the bar. Palms barely touching it. Almost 2 weeks of hanging from my fingertips. I thought I'd finally figured out the exercise. I hadn't. That is not grip. That's two fingers losing an argument with gravity in slow motion. I reset my hand. More palm. Fingers actually wrapped around the bar. Pressure spread instead of everything hanging off my fingertips. Same session. 1 extra pull-up shows up. Maybe the grip change. Maybe just a better day. Either way, it made me check how I'd been holding every bar in the gym because the grip had been off, not just on dead hangs, on every bar exercise I'd done in years of training, every pull-up I'd been proud of, every rep I'd credited to strength, years of training with a hand position I'd never stopped to examine, not because it was failing, because it was working well enough that I'd stopped seeing it. The extra rep is fine. The years is the part that stays. Days 12 through 20. Nothing. The number had stopped moving. No new discovery, just the same drill, same bar, same stuck number. 25 seconds. 30 on a good day. 27 the next. For 8 days, I started wondering if 30 days was just going to be 30 days of me getting better at being annoyed. Then someone at work asks if I've been doing something for my back. I hadn't told her about the challenge. I hadn't noticed anything either. Apparently, something looked different from the outside. She couldn't tell me what. I couldn't either. Whatever was changing wasn't showing up in the seconds. And for the first time, I started wondering if I was watching the wrong number. Bracing better. Breathing deeper, staying tight a little longer before I drop. Day 22, grip set, shoulders on, lats on, core tight, no rush, 30 seconds, calm, 45, still there, 60, I step off, not because I had to, because I chose to. The bar is still, my hands let go clean, no fist pump, no big reaction, just a quiet nod. 60 seconds arrived, and immediately came a new problem. I'd changed the bar, changed the technique, changed the grip, even changed the version of the exercise. Was I actually better at dead hangs? Or had I just gotten better at the version I'd eventually settled on? I decided to find out. Day 30, final test. Active hang. 93 seconds. First attempt, then passive. 2 minutes, 11 seconds. Day 1, I'd hung for 13 seconds on a bar that turned out to be a worse fit for me, with a grip I'd never properly examined, in the version of the exercise I hadn't properly understood. So no, this isn't a clean before-after. I changed multiple variables, and I know it. The interesting result isn't 13 to 93. It's how many things I had wrong before I'd even started counting. Was it worth it? Yeah. Not because dead hangs magically fixed anything. Not in the way challenge videos usually promise. What I can actually say changed? Hanging time. 1 extra pull-up that showed up without training training for it. My shoulders feeling better, less stiffness waking up. Small things, but specific. Other things changed too. Posture, how I felt after sitting all day. My shoulder wasn't pinching when I reached overhead. I noticed those. I just can't tell you the hangs caused them. What didn't change? Wrists still have opinions some days. Dead hangs are still boring. Nothing unexpected appeared in the mirror. If you were hoping for a visible transformation in 30 days, I understand the expectation. That's not what this is. My back feels longer after every session. Not stronger, longer. I can't tell you what that means physiologically. For me, the closest thing I found to the opposite of a desk. I came to test how long I could hang. That's not what I actually tested. I tested how long I could go without noticing what I was doing wrong. Bar, technique, grip. 3 things I'd been ignoring for years because none of them had failed badly enough to force me to look. The 60 seconds did. Then I found max hang training. In climbing, max hangs are used to build finger strength. Short, high-intensity efforts on small edges. Not endurance. A different quality entirely. 93 seconds wasn't even the same category. The bar, the hang, the grip, even the goal. Every time I thought I'd found the problem, there was another thing underneath it I'd never bothered to question. I'd spent 30 days trying to get better at dead hangs. Turns out, I was getting better at noticing what I was doing, and that was the part I'd been missing. I read through the whole thing, took notes. Subscribe if you want to see what gets ignored next. Quietly close the tab. One ignored thing at a time.